Hi everyone, this is Jes Brandon, and I'm here today to show you the new Foxy Fix stamps, and I'm also going to show you how all of these inks work in the Foxy Fix inserts. So first up, we have the squares. And you can buy all of these on the website now. I just wanted to give you a quick walkthrough and show you what all is available. Sometimes it's easier to see it rather than just looking at a picture. So you have the square set, and it comes with checklists, a bunch of different sizes of squares, and you have this tiny one, and then you also have a solid one. And I'm actually going to be using the solid one to show the ink here in a minute. And then there are rectangles, and this square is close to, but not quite the same size as the squares on the back. And then there are circles, triangles, hexagons, and then there are 3 different kinds of columns. And then you have these borders, and most of them can end up being used as checklists too, or dividers on your page. And then there are these ones, which are a little bit bigger than this set. Then there are 2 floral sets with vines and leaves of different sizes. Then you have this with, counts 1 to 31. Different banners, and then the abbreviations for Monday through Sunday. And here you have the months written out, the months abbreviated, and then you have the week here, and several different things you can add, like index, keys, notes, collections, future log, and several icons down here for bullet journaling. I don't know if you can see those. And then, now this one's kind of confusing. I didn't realize that each one of these lines are individual, which is amazing when you're trying to line things up, but you don't really need, say, a column or a grid. You just want a couple lines. You have all of these different sizes. And I'm going to do a video later on, or a blog, one of the two, to show how to use these, because they are kind of difficult to get on your block so they lay straight. So I'll show you how to do that, or at least how I do it. Now, you're probably wondering about this packaging. This is actually my packaging system, and Cheryl is going to do a video in a month or so about different storage options. This is the one that works best for me. I store it in a milk crate, just like this, and it fits perfectly on my shelf. Now this one is a little too big for my storage, so I thought I would go ahead and show you the actual packaging that the Foxy stamps come in. So you've got this lovely cardboard here, and it seals, and sorry, I live on the corner of a very busy road, and we have several people who like to drive quite fast and loud. Okay, so those are the stamps. And then you can get inserts that fit in your Foxy notebook, and it fits just like this in the center. I love it. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how the different inks work in it. So first, I don't actually have black in color block or color box, so I'm going to use the dark brown for color box. I'm just going to use the darkest color I have in each set. So I'll use Color Box, Memento, which is a dye ink, Lawn Fawn, Distress Ink, VersaFine Onyx Black, and I wanted to show you the Smoky Gray as well, because I actually have more trouble with this than I do with any of the others. Versacolor Pine Cone. I don't have a black in Versacolor. Graphite Black in Brilliance, and then Midnight Black in Versa Magic. And these two are actually the ones that are most, well, these 3 are most recommended for planners because they don't often bleed. So I thought I'd show you. I personally don't like them, but a lot of people do. So let's get started. Oh, and when I'm done, I will go ahead and show you a bunch of different pens too, just to give you an idea. I'm going to use the Staedtler Tri-Plus Fine Liner, the new Papermate Inkjoy Gel, a Sharpie pen. This is the pen, not the actual Sharpie marker. Those will bleed. I have a Zig Millennium, a Pigma Micron, a Pilot G2, Papermate Flare, and then I know a lot of people like to color, so I thought I would show you a Tombow marker too for coloring. So let's get started. Okay, so this is the Color Box Dark Brown. And let's see here, I smudged. Okay, so this is how it looks on the front. And on the back, if I can turn the page. Okay, on the back it shadows some, but it's not terrible. That's something that you're gonna have to figure out for yourself, whether shadowing and bleeding bothers you or it doesn't. For me, this wouldn't bother me at all. So that is the color box. And I apologize for my messy handwriting already. Then we're going to do Memento Tuxedo Black. And you can see it's a nice solid color on the front. And this is a dye ink, and the Memento is shadowing less than the color box. So you can see. Now for Lawn Fawn. And this is Black Licorice. And when you're stamping, don't put your thumb inside the ink or you will get marks like that. So this is Lawn Fawn. Again, very light shadow, but no bleed. Then we have the Tim Holtz Distress Ink. Now you're not going to get a crisp image with Distress inks at all. These are designed to be water-based. If you like watercoloring, go to this type of ink. This is amazing for a very distressed watercolor look. And again, very light shadowing. This is my personal favorite. Now with this, it's kind of juicy, so you're going to want to be gentle with how much you put on, otherwise it will bleed, unless, like, yeah, if you put too much on, it will bleed. So be cautious with this. And you can see this one is actually the crispest, is that a word? Anyway, the sharpest image of all of them, except for maybe the Memento. And that's the VersaFine. And that one's the Onyx Black. I'll show you on the back. there's a tiny bit of shadowing, but it's extremely faint. This one, the VersaFine, is actually the lightest of all of the colors I've shown so far, including the Distress ink. Now here's the one I wanted to show you. For some reason, the smoky gray likes to bleed, and I'm not sure why. So I'll just show you what it looks like, maybe. Okay. So on this side, you can see it doesn't look that dark, and of course it won't shadow this time, but normally it bleeds. Let me see if I can find where it bled for me when I was doing a sample test so I can show you. Okay, so here's the smoky gray right here. It's this darkest one. I guess it didn't bleed here either, but it did shadow quite darkly for me. So just play it by ear and stamp lightly if you use that one. Now we have Versacolor, and this ink here is actually Kristine, who will be posting soon. This is her favorite ink, and she's going to post a video in a week or two about cleaning your stamps, stamping 101, how to stamp if you're not used to stamping, and cleaning, and just basically stamp maintenance, I believe. I believe that's hers. Okay, so again, this one's the brown because I don't have a black in this color. And there's no shadow whatsoever. So this was the smoky gray. And the Versacolor. And again, I apologize for my super messy handwriting. Okay, next up is the VersaMagic. And this is a chalk ink, so it doesn't dry as fast as some of the others. And it has a tendency to smudge, and it looks like apparently I am almost out of this one, or it's dried up. Let me see if I can get a better image. Okay, so this one is pretty much dried up. I apologize. So yeah, I apologize for that one, but I should have checked it before I started this video. But anyway, VersaMagic will not bleed, but it will smear if you run your finger over it, you don't give it plenty of time to dry. So just keep that in mind if you use VersaMagic. And then I'm going to use the Brilliance Graphite Black. Looks like this one's pretty much dry too. So I borrowed these from my mother, and I didn't check them before I used them. Okay, it's not quite dry. So this is the Brilliance. And then I will show you again. And I actually did this pretty nicely because in the order they're lined up, that's how dark they are. The color box is the darkest, and it's almost a bleed, but not quite. Then you have Memento, then Lawn Fawn, then Distress, VersaFine, VersaFine Smoky Gray, Versacolor, then I can't even see to show you where they are, but in this general area is the VersaMagic, and then right here is the Brilliance. And I'm going to pull my lamp in close so I can show you what it looks like with light directly on it. Okay, so to put the light directly on it, to show you the best picture possible, you can see hardly any shadowing. So Kelly uses this amazing 70-pound paper, and it's got this very smooth quality, and it is as you can see, quite thick, and you can handle pretty much any ink on it, at least all the inks that I've tried. Now, I wanted to go ahead and show you the pens super fast, and you already saw that this one doesn't bleed. So you have Papermate Gel. I'm just going to shorten it. So again, Papermate Gel, no shadow, well, slight shadow I can see, but very slight. The Statler, I don't know how to say that. Statler, whatever. Okay. No shadow whatsoever. I'm going to use the Sharpie pen, and this is a medium because I can't find my fine. No shadowing. Papermate Flare. I use these a lot. I really like the Papermate Flare because it's very smooth across the paper. Right here would be the flare. So this is the Zig Millennium. And that's here. As you can see, none of these pens are shadowing hardly at all right now. And this is the Micron. They're so light, like I can barely tell where they are on the back. Micron is right here. Then the Pilot G2. And I chose a thicker one. This is the 10 instead of the 7 because I really wanted to show you if it would bleed at all, bleed or shadow at all. It would be this one. Okay, this one has a tiny bit of shadow, and it has more of a raised, like a bump feeling than any of the others. None of the others did that, but this one indents the page quite a bit. And then finally, we have our black Tombow. And I'm going to show you with the brush end because this is the end that most people would be using. So here is what the brush end looks like. And here is what the bullet point looks like. And you can see, again, no shadowing. I want to see how much coloring it would take to make this actually shadow or bleed. So I'm just going to color right here. Okay. There's a tiny bit of pilling here, and it just barely bled right where I scribbled. So you'd have to put quite a bit of pressure on these to make them shadow or bleed. So then I did want to show you, I have this Sharpie, whoops, yep, I have this Sharpie silver pen, and I wanted to show you what this looks like too. Because I know people are going to ask, well, what about my Sharpies? Your Sharpies will bleed. You cannot use Sharpies in here. Your Sharpies will bleed, but the Sharpie pen does not. So anyway, here it is, and thank you for watching. Have a nice day.